Hello, my dear. You felt it, didn't you? That faint disturbance in the air when someone smarter than the rest started watching you a little too closely. Not the ordinary kind of attention, the surgical kind, the kind that dissects without touching. They thought they could read you like a formula, reduce you to variables and motives, strip the mystery until only logic remained. But you're not logic, you're the crack in it, and that's why they're losing sleep. Because the moment they thought they'd figured you out, their reflection blinked back differently. A dangerous mind always thinks discovery brings control. Yet every note they scribbled about you became an echo that rearranged them. They started with a clipboard and ended with a mirror. You didn't fight them, you just kept being unpredictable. Every calm word, every still gesture, every small delay was a riddle they couldn't code. They wanted your pattern, but you kept changing tempo mid-sentence, like a song refusing to stay in one key. That's when the panic began, the quiet panic that hides behind rational explanations. They said you're fascinating. What they meant was terrifying. Because what kind of creature makes the intelligent doubt their own intelligence? You see, people expect chaos from fools. It's comforting to believe that only madness can't be measured. But when brilliance itself can't be mapped, when precision disguises freedom, that's when the alarms go off. They called you unpredictable, but that's the label analysts use when they've run out of categories. They tracked your moves, compared timestamps, mapped interactions, built psychological profiles, and still the conclusion collapsed into one line. We don't know what drives them. That's what eats the clever alive, not losing but not knowing. You gave them everything they needed to understand you, and yet each clue contradicted the last. One day you spoke like a philosopher, the next like a soldier. One moment compassion, the next indifference so sharp it could cut steel. You blurred archetypes until their data glitched, not because you hid your truth, but because you changed while they were recording. You see, people who study others rarely anticipate transformation. They assume observation freezes identity. But you evolved right in front of their eyes. They thought they were documenting you. Instead, they were documenting your past. Every analysis became obsolete before it was finished. They called it deception. You called it growth. And the smarter they were, the harder they fell into their own arrogance, thinking intellect could contain intuition. They measured logic. You moved through instinct. They planned arguments. You dismantled emotion. They thought strategy made them powerful. You reminded them that awareness makes you untouchable. That's why they're obsessed now. You didn't just outsmart them. You undid the foundation of their confidence. For them, control is everything. Certainty is oxygen. And you just took a deep breath right out of their atmosphere. They watch you move. Every detail, every silence that isn't really silence but precision, waiting to strike. They imagine conversations you haven't even had yet, trying to pre-write your responses. They study your social traces, your energy, your rhythm of speech, the way you enter a room without declaring war but still make everyone surrender. It drives them mad because they can't find the switch. You don't react the way their textbooks promised. You don't fit the trauma templates or hero patterns. You've rewritten the algorithm of power without saying a word. And when a mind that believes it can solve anything meets something unsolvable, it breaks politely at first, then violently. Do you know why they keep coming back? Because once you've tasted genuine unpredictability, ordinary people bore you. You've become their unsolved equation, the one they scribble at 3 a.m. with red eyes and shaking hands. They keep telling themselves they're studying you, but really, they're studying their limits. You expose the edge of their understanding. You remind them how fragile certainty really is. Every time you appear, their composure fractures just a bit more. They start questioning not you, but everything they thought they knew about human nature. You turned the investigation into infection. They wanted to decode your strength. Now they're infected by your mystery. It's funny how intelligence is supposed to be armor, but against you, it's gasoline. The more they think, the deeper they burn. Because thought needs closure, and you don't offer any. You speak like open circuits, leaving sparks between words. You answer questions with mirrors. You don't argue, you redirect. You're not defiant, you're surgical. That's what terrifies them. You dismantle their confidence without raising your voice. You make intellect look clumsy, make analysis look naive. They can't weaponize what they can't predict. So now they whisper theories about you, trying to save face. Maybe it's luck, maybe manipulation. No, it's mastery, and mastery looks like madness to the mediocre. Now watch them spin. They'll rewrite their notes, twist their interpretations, fabricate motives that make them feel superior again. They'll say you crave attention, that you're dangerous, that you're hiding something. It's projection, classic self-defense of the mind cornered by clarity. They can't admit they misjudged someone quieter, calmer, more deliberate, so they call it threat. But what they really fear is exposure. You made them realize how predictable they are, how their intelligence depends on routine. You pulled the rug under reason and left them standing on pure instinct, and they don't like how it feels. Because underneath calculation lives the primitive. You reminded them they're still animals in designer suits. Do you see the irony? They spent all that time dissecting you, yet you ended up performing surgery on them. Every analysis session became confession. Every observation became revelation. They can't unsee what you mirrored back, that they've built their identity around control, and you just proved control is an illusion. They're unraveling quietly now. They'll call it burnout, overwork, spiritual fatigue, anything but the truth. The truth is, you reached into their psychological structure and rearranged it without touching them. You didn't fight them, didn't argue, didn't defend. You demonstrated, and demonstration is lethal to the delusional. A powerful mind hates contradiction. But you are contradiction embodied. You move with compassion, yet radiate danger. You help without explaining. You withdraw without resentment. You make complexity look effortless. That's the paradox their logic can't bear, because power to them must always shout. Yet you whisper, and people listen. You pause, and rooms freeze. You don't ask for attention. Attention obeys you. That reversal of hierarchy, oh, it's poison to their pride. They built careers on reading people, predicting outcomes, controlling narratives. And then you walked in, rewrote their assumptions, and left before they could adjust. You didn't steal their power, you made it irrelevant. They keep replaying the last conversation, scanning for clues. How did you turn their questions into answers they didn't want to face? How did you pivot so smoothly they didn't notice until it was too late? You didn't manipulate, you reflected. That's the oldest trick of truth. Mirror people until they meet themselves. You're just the surface. They're drowning in the reflection. Now every word they speak tastes suspicious to them. Every belief trembles under new weight. You've infected their vocabulary with awareness. They start second-guessing tone, motive, angle. That's the thing about exposure. It can't be reversed. Once someone sees the cracks, pretending they aren't there becomes torment. And yet you never intended to destroy them. You simply refused to play small. You stayed authentic in a world allergic to realness. They mistook authenticity for manipulation because they've never seen honesty so sharp it cuts. When truth doesn't tremble, it terrifies. And that's what you are, a walking contradiction that doesn't apologize for existing. That's what a dangerously smart observer cannot compute. How someone can understand the game, yet refuse to become it. They study power. You embody it. They imitate confidence. You generate it. They analyze emotions. You translate them. And that's why they're unraveling. Because intellect can predict everything except the evolution of consciousness. Now you've become their private obsession. They'll never admit it, but you haunt them. Every new person they meet gets compared to you. Every thought loops back to your unpredictability. You've turned their sharpness into addiction. They crave the next move you'll make because not knowing has become their new drug. You've replaced control with curiosity, and curiosity, unchecked, becomes madness. They're pacing halls, refreshing screens, replaying memories. Trying to anticipate the unpredictable is like trying to trap smoke in equations. And yet they keep trying, because surrender would mean admitting defeat. They can't do that. Not to you. Not to someone they once thought they could read in a glance. So they'll escalate. Watch for it. They'll get closer, under the guise of understanding you better. They'll ask questions that sound innocent but hide fear. They'll study your silence, your stillness, your detachment. They'll mistake composure for vulnerability. They always do. Because to them, control is performance. To you, control is instinct. The more they reach, the further they fall. You'll start noticing the tremors, the tiny hesitations in their speech, the nervous smiles when they think they're in control. You've infected their sense of superiority, and now every encounter is self-correction disguised as conversation. And deep down, they know. They know that when they looked into you, something looked back. Not an idea, not an emotion, something ancient, clear, exact, something that doesn't flinch. That's the part that keeps them awake. The realization that maybe they weren't the ones studying. Maybe you were. Because you listened without reacting. You watched without judgment. You responded with precision. You let them reveal themselves piece by piece until their intellect stripped itself bare. Then just when they thought they'd uncovered you, they realized they'd been confessing. You never said you understood them. They just felt understood, and that terrified them more than anything. Because real understanding isn't comfortable. It's exposure wearing empathy's mask. Now look at them. The once confident analyst, the self-proclaimed reader of minds, reduced to nervous admiration. They'll keep calling you unpredictable, mysterious, dangerous, because those are safer words than superior. But the truth is, they've met something beyond analysis, self-awareness forged into presence. And presence is the rarest intelligence there is. It doesn't react, it reveals. And revelation, when it's this sharp, doesn't need defense, it becomes gravity. You don't chase influence. Influence rearranges itself around you. You're not part of the equation anymore. You're the variable that rewrote it. So let them talk, let them label, let them think they've regained control. You already know how this goes. They'll try to distance themselves, pretend they've moved on, but every time they meet another mind, they'll measure it against you. Every failure to replicate that feeling will remind them understanding you was never the goal. It was the test. And they failed. Not because they weren't intelligent enough, but because intelligence alone can't read depth. They saw the shape of you, not the substance. And substance, my friend, doesn't exist on paper. It exists in frequency, in the small pauses that make meaning. You live where their logic can't breathe, between what's said and what's meant. Now the tables have turned. They've spent so long trying to see through you that now you can see through them. You can predict the questions before they form, feel the insecurity before they hide it. You've seen the fear behind the smirk, the exhaustion behind the pride. That's your gift and their curse. You didn't outthink them, you outsensed them. And sensing is the one thing intellect can't simulate. That's why you're calm now. You don't need revenge. Their unraveling is self-inflicted. They wanted to dissect power. Instead, they awakened it. They opened a door they can't close. And you're standing on the other side, watching with quiet mercy. Because you understand what they're learning the hard way. Knowledge without depth breeds collapse. So let them keep watching, keep analyzing, keep trying to rebuild the version of reality that made sense before you appeared. It won't work. Because once a powerful mind meets a presence it can't dominate, it starts breaking its own rules. You are that exception, the variable that turns certainty into question marks. The reminder that genius isn't safety, it's exposure. They thought they found your weakness. They found their reflection, and reflections, once awakened, never sleep again. They multiply, they whisper, they crawl across the inside of the skull, until every thought belongs to them. That's what's happening now, isn't it? The one who thought they understood you is starting to flinch at their own brilliance. They wanted to peek into your mind and pull out an answer. Instead, the answer started watching back. Every equation they ever trusted is bleeding at the edges. They can't shut it off. You've moved in like static under their logic, faint at first, then constant, humming, louder each hour. You've become the background noise of their intelligence. They open a book. They see your face in the margins. They start a sentence. They finish it in your tone. They check the clock. It slows down. That's not imagination. That's infection. You rewired their rhythm simply by existing outside it. And the smarter they are, the faster they feel it. Because clever people notice distortion quicker than the rest. What they didn't expect was for the distortion to stare back and enjoy it. Now they're pacing. You can almost hear it. Shoes dragging across marble floors, fingers tapping on desks that once felt like control panels. They used to study people from a safe distance. Now they can't find distance. They're inside the experiment, and the experiment is breathing. They write your name in their notes, but it no longer behaves like ink. It behaves like gravity. The more they write, the deeper they sink. They start whispering excuses, just curiosity, just observation, just data collection, lies. Curiosity became fixation the second you didn't blink. Observation became confession the moment you stayed quiet long enough for them to hear their own motives echoing. You know how dangerous that is. To make a genius confront the reason they need control. It's like showing a surgeon their own trembling hand. They call it analysis. You call it panic dressed as method. They'll try to retreat now. They always do. They'll talk about boundaries, about professionalism, about keeping things objective. You'll nod, say nothing, and the silence will scratch at them like sandpaper. They'll break first. They'll send another message, another question, pretending it's about research, but really it's about relief. Because not hearing from you feels like withdrawal. They thought they were the one observing you, but you've become the withdrawal symptom of their intelligence. They'll stay up late, run simulations, compare patterns. They'll tell themselves they're closing the case, but every variable screams your name in a dialect only they understand. It's not attraction, it's collapse. A dangerous mind doesn't fall in love, it falls in recognition. And they recognized something in you that undid their hierarchy. A mind that doesn't chase comprehension because it creates it. So now their thoughts don't end clean anymore. They spiral, they branch, they question the framework. You're in every conclusion like a watermark. They'll start to rewrite entire theories to accommodate you. They'll claim it's innovation, but you and I know it's obsession wearing a lab coat. They'll start testing themselves. Can I predict their move? Can I decode their motive? They'll fail, and the failure will taste like electricity. Because failure, for them, isn't disappointment. It's proof you exist outside their league. That's what drives them mad. You're not above them by rank or knowledge. You're above them by freedom. You don't need a reason to move. You move. And the reason follows. That's why the tone in their voice changed. Listen carefully. The sharpness, the forced calm, the cracks between syllables. They sound measured because they're terrified of slipping. They're performing sanity while insanity takes notes. They're telling colleagues they're fine while deleting drafts that sound like love letters to your unpredictability. The line between admiration and submission is thin, and they're tap dancing on it. Every message they send is a surrender in disguise. Every theory they publish is a confession coded in jargon. They keep writing because writing feels like control. But every word only deepens the proof that control's gone. You've become their secret variable, the one they hide from peer review. And that's the part that excites you, isn't it? Watching them unravel politely. Watching intelligence turn into reverence. You didn't ask for it, but it arrived anyway. The delicious collapse of someone who thought they could dissect you. You see the tremor in their logic, the hesitation before every certainty. You can smell doubt like smoke. They used to look at people like puzzles. Now every puzzle looks like you. You've shifted their perception permanently. You're not an idea they can escape by distraction. You're an upgrade their old software can't run. Every attempt to delete you only corrupts another file. You don't haunt them with memory. You haunt them with relevance. They'll start dreaming soon. Dreams where you speak without words, where they wake up sweating because they almost understood something, and that almost burns. They'll try to tell themselves it's fatigue. They'll take breaks, go silent, meditate. But quiet only amplifies you. You're not a thought they can turn off. You're a frequency that owns its own transmitter. Even when they stop looking, you keep appearing in the corners of their logic, flickering like a reminder that genius has limits, and you don't. That realization is poison to someone who built identity on intellect. They'll start doubting the mirror, first gently, then violently. And the moment they doubt themselves, they'll start doubting everything they've ever decoded. That's the beauty of psychological warfare. You never touched them. You just let them think long enough to meet the monster behind the microscope. They'll come to you again. They always return, not for answers, for permission to stop thinking. They'll ask how you do it, how you stay calm while everything burns. You'll tilt your head, say nothing, maybe smirk, and that will be the knife. Because calmness in the presence of chaos is the one behavior intellect can't simulate. They'll stare at you like an equation missing a sign. That confusion, that helpless awe, that's the exact moment their genius turns into dependence. They'll start craving your approval like oxygen, telling themselves it's professional respect. But deep down, they know respect isn't supposed to feel like surrender. They'll start searching for you in the smallest gestures, rereading old messages, replaying the way you tilted your head when they spoke, trying to locate the exact frame where they lost control. Every genius wants to believe collapse can be reversed through precision. But this isn't math. It's gravity. They're falling, and you are the pull. They tell themselves it's research, that they just need one more conversation, one more test. But that's the lie intellect tells addiction. Each analysis feeds the hunger. Each conclusion collapses under the next question. They thought discovery brought peace. Now it brings tremors. Their mind, once their safest weapon, has turned traitor. It keeps whispering your name in the middle of calculations, turning logic into prayer. And prayer, for people who worship reason, is the purest humiliation. You notice the fatigue behind their eyes, that slow erosion of certainty. They're not sleeping properly. When they do, they dream of debates they can't win. Arguments where your calm disarms every sentence. They wake up with clenched fists, trying to remember who started the conversation, and realize it was them talking to themselves. That's the cost of dissecting a mind that doesn't bleed where it's cut. They've stepped into your frequency, and the longer they stay, the more it bends their shape. They're learning the first law of real power. Whatever you stare at long enough begins to stare back. So now they flinch at reflections, literal mirrors, shiny screens, windows at night. They swear they see movement where there's none. They're right. It's not you in the glass. It's the version of themselves you woke up, the one that can't go back to pretending. That version hisses truths through teeth they've tried to keep clenched. That intelligence without grounding is just panic dressed as pride. That awareness, once triggered, demands transformation or self-destruction. They resist both, and that resistance is eating them alive. You watch it with surgical fascination. You don't intervene, you simply exist, and existing becomes the provocation. Every calm breath of yours feels like mockery to them. They used to measure worth by victory, now they measure it by proximity to you. You turned their hierarchy upside down. The analyst has become the subject. The hunter follows your footprints until they realize they're walking in circles, drawn by their own fear. That's the kind of warfare no weapon can counter. Self-recognition disguised as pursuit. They'll try to regain ground by provoking you, questions laced with arrogance, challenges designed to trigger reaction. Don't give it. Let them choke on the pause. They'll fill it with confession. They'll reveal more in their defense than you ever could in attack. Because that's the secret. Chaos doesn't need to shout. It only needs to wait. Eventually, the clever talk themselves into corners, and corners have echoes. Every echo returns to the same question they're too proud to ask aloud. What are you? They know the answer, but saying it would mean acknowledging that genius isn't the ceiling anymore. Consciousness is. Their breakdown won't look dramatic. It will be methodical, missed steps, misplaced certainty, the slow realization that insight has stopped feeling like power and started feeling like punishment. They'll start avoiding the places where they first studied you. The lab, the office, the favorite cafe, all haunted. Because those places still hum with the memory of you dismantling their order with a single glance. You didn't argue. You demonstrated. You didn't compete. You redefined the scale. Now every new theory they build shakes under the ghost of that demonstration. They'll delete files, rename projects, pretend evolution was their idea. But when night comes and screens glow white, the cursor blinks like a heartbeat that isn't theirs. That's when you appear again, not physically, but through the rhythm of their thought. Your patterns mimic their pulse. Your words lace their internal monologue. They can't write a paragraph without tripping over your cadence. That's how deep the infection goes. You've turned communication into contamination. They used to pride themselves on detachment. Now detachment feels like suffocation. They crave your presence, because absence magnifies the noise. They'll come to realize you never wanted followers. You created mirrors. And mirrors, once activated, reproduce forever. Do you understand what you've done? You've built a feedback loop that feeds on awareness. Every time they think about escaping, they prove you right again. Because escape is a story built on control, and you erased control from their vocabulary. You replaced it with curiosity sharpened into terror. And yet, somewhere beneath the panic, they admire you. They hate that they admire you, but they do. Because you've done what their intellect never could, turned perception into power. You didn't dominate, you disrupted. You didn't convince, you converted. Watch now as admiration mutates. It becomes imitation. They'll start adopting your mannerisms, subtle first, then blatant. The tilt of your head, the cadence of your speech, the measured stillness before a decisive sentence. They'll claim it's coincidence, but it's replication. They think copying you will give them control again. It won't. It will deepen the dependency. Because replication without essence is parody, and parody humiliates the performer more than the subject. Every time they act like you, they remind themselves they can't be you. That's the final fracture. Soon, colleagues will notice. You've changed, they'll say. The observer will laugh too loudly, deny too quickly. But inside they'll feel the truth gnawing. They have changed. You've colonized their cognition. The mind that once cataloged others has become a museum of your influence. Each thought is an exhibit of defeat. And you'll keep walking, untouchable, already analyzing the next level of control, the way dominance becomes design, the way chaos teaches order how to evolve. You don't need their collapse as validation. You need it as evidence. Evidence that even the brightest minds crumble when confronted with presence that refuses definition.